Rod.
Archie Amerson.
Danny Mac threw that ball before Archie knew it was out of his hand, and he turned and looked, put one arm up, and it stuck him right in the palm. And he's all smiles now on the sidelines. Great play. Of course, Hamilton needs a lot of that in this quarter because the wind is at their back, and if they're going to have a chance of catching up to this Calgary team and coming away with the win here, they're going to have to get a lead, I believe, here in this third quarter, and they got a ways to go yet.
George, once again, back to the Vanier Cup, and tell me, was there a concern that the national championship would move out of Skydome?
Very definitely, Rod. There was a huge question as to whether we could continue to afford to have it there. Our chairman, Jeff Chan, and I and some of our committee members met with Skydome. They were terrific. They gave us a terrific rent break. In principle, we've agreed to an extended contract. Our future is looking bright, both with Vanier and at Skydome.
You've got a special interest in this Vanier Cup this year because your son is playing on a team that's capable of being there.
He's got the Acadia Axeman hat.
That's right. Will is what? He's a defensive back, starting defensive back.
That's right, Matt. He was a quarterback, but he switched over this year to DB. He's enjoying it thoroughly, and yeah, I got my fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, good luck to you. Good luck to Will, too.
Thanks very much, Matt.
Off the kickoff, Stamps football, Marvin Coleman. And taken down inside the 30, so the Cats seem to be fired up with the win here in this third quarter. But yeah, he plays for Acadia. Acadia takes on St. Mary's next week in the Atlantic Championship, the winner going to the Atlantic Bowl. Tell me, though, you mentioned the Grey Cup and the Vanier being on the same weekend. It seems to be a bit of a problem, like a number of things, but football media divided for one thing. Is that something that you're going to try to avoid in the future?
Absolutely. This just happens to be a fluke. It happened this year. The good news, one's in Toronto, the other's in Vancouver,
sure,
as opposed to being close together. So in future, the Vanier will be the last game of the year. It'll be held the first weekend in December.
Mike McCoy standing under center now. First down, Stampeders. Their lead cut to 6, 24-18. And under pressure, nowhere to go. Who gets the sack? You always have to ask now. As a flag goes down, McGreg's in there. And Hagens as well. I believe Montfort getting up.
Major foul, face mask, Hamilton, number 92. First down.
Excuse me, Tim Terry was the one involved on that one, but all for naught as the flag goes down, and it'll be an automatic first down for the Calgary Stampeders.
Here's a peek at it right here. Tim Terry, he's getting his PhD from Temple. Used to using his mind, use his hands right here. Got him up a little too high, caught up in Mike McCoy's face mask.
So the crowd getting fired up now. On a first down, Calgary. Early movement, Montfort. Flags down. It'll be outside Hamilton. And back-to-back penalties against the Tiger Cats unless he was drawn.
Joe figured, hey, what the heck? I'm over here. Why not sack the quarterback? I'm used to doing that all year long. So maybe they didn't see me. He was about 2 yards over the line of scrimmage, though.
Another thing.
Offside, Hamilton, number 53. First down repeated.
Another thing about the Vanier Cup, George, about the crowds, the attendance had dropped since significant meeting in the first one in 1989 between Western and Saskatchewan. How much of a concern has that been at Skydome, and how much of it, I guess, is really dependent on what schools show up?
Well, it's always a factor, Rod, depending on which schools show up, but last year we're up about 20% in attendance. We expect at least that this year. I expect we'll be at least 20 plus in terms of the attendance. And we'll continue to grow from there.
Breck snap to Kelvin Anderson, but it's Joe Hagens with the football, whistled down. Anderson taking the snap and picking up about 9 yards on the play, close to a first down for Calgary.
Not for a plug or anything for Rod and myself, but who's calling that game this year, the Vanier Cup?
Well, it's TSN, who's one of our best partners in a list of terrific partners. Certainly, we're very appreciative to have TSN calling the games for us, Matt, and being such a terrific media sponsor.
Well, I knew TSN was sponsoring. I was just wondering specifically who is going to be calling the game in the booth for y'all.
Well, you're going to have to ask Keith Peller.
I was just hoping you'd answer that. You and Rod, Matt.
Well, I can certainly put a plug in if it's any help, Matt.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Well, I tell you, on the first down by Calgary, I've had the pleasure, along with Jamie Bowen, the last 4 years, and it was Gord Miller before that and Michael Ensberg, but it's always been a trade, and for me, going back, I had a few years playing college football, and it was a dream to get to that game. I never did, and it was held back at Varsity Stadium then, but you know, you play at that level and it carries a great amount of prestige. I don't care where exactly you're playing it. If it was Skydome, it's been a treat, but it's an enjoyable game to be a part of.
Well, the fact, too, that there's only one, as opposed to all the bowl games in the States, we just have one university championship.
McCoy under a lot of pressure, but he gets away and runs for about 5 yards on first down Calgary. So once again, against the wind, the Stampeders are doing a nice job moving this football.
5-yard gain.
I guess I would say 18 years of being associated with the Canadian Football League, I can't remember the Vanier Cup not being just a gem of a game, just outstanding play. And you make the point that it's the only game. There are no other bowls, and it comes down to this one championship playoff game, and they've always seemed to be just fantastic games. You expect the same this year, I'm sure?
Oh, absolutely, Matt. The other thing I should mention is that the tickets are very affordable. You can buy a ticket starting at $12. If you've got a group, let's say minor football, whatever you'd like to bring, call us. We'll make you a special deal. So we're anxious to have as many people as possible come. Metro Bowl, of course, will be played there. There's a lot of stuff happening the whole week. It's not just one football game.
I think that was a great idea, too, getting the high school championship involved in the Toronto area to bring more fans in and package it with it. Listen, well, good luck to your Tiger Cats, George, and good luck with the Vanier Cup as well. We'll see you there and looking forward to it.
Thanks very much, Rod. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate the chance to talk about Vanier.
Our pleasure for stopping by. George Grant's Tiger Cats down by 6 with the Stampeders moving the football. Out to the side, a swing pass to Kelvin Anderson, nowhere to go. Lamar McGriggs has him, and down he goes. That was 2nd and 10. It's lost yardage, a loss of about 1.
Well, I think the fans get a sense of urgency here, knows how important it is for the Hamilton defense to turn it back over the offense as quickly as possible so they can get back into the end zone. Spirited defensive series by the Hamilton Tiger Cats there. Gave up a couple of penalties, which kept the drive alive, but they're flying around. You wouldn't think this is a nothing game.
Well, remember, October 16th, 1994, 8 regular season games, 2 playoff games. It's been that long since Hamilton has beaten Calgary. And I'm sure a lot of people in this city think it is about time, even in this game. Because who knows? Maybe they have a third meeting planned. A lot of teams that have something to say about that, however. On the punt return, no yards called, up to the 30. After just a 26-yarder by Martino into the wind. Stamp 24, Ticats 18 on CFL Live. Rod Smith and Matt Dunnigan back at Ivor Stadium in Hamilton, where the Ticats have the football and they have the win. 4:34 to go until they'll have to go against it. And Danny McManus trying to throw through an official almost, I believe. That one going incomplete. We talked about the head-to-head meetings with Calgary, all going in favor of the red and white, as evidenced by this. That is domination.
That's a long time. 1994 is the last time Hamilton actually beat this Calgary football team. You just look at that there, 10 consecutive games. That's dominance. I think it's extremely important for this Hamilton team to come out on top here, just to prove to themselves going in the playoffs they can actually beat Calgary.
It even gets more impressive when you look at Wally Guano's number there against Hamilton. McManus airs it out, and William Hampton had a beat on it, but he gets beat by Andrew Grigg. While Hampton waited for it, Grigg got in front, takes it down to the 15. Here come the Tiger Cats.
Talked to Grigg yesterday, and he said, I said, Andrew, you need 219 for 1,000. Can you get it? And he kind of laughed. But hey, this is a big chunk of it right here. He just does a great job of going to the ball, cuts in front of Hampton, makes a spectacular catch.
Well, he has 3 catches for 102 yards now.
Another 117, he's there.
Got to go to him a lot late in this game.
It could happen. It's a 52-yarder right there.
1st and 10. Ticats knocking on the door. Inside, off the fingertips of Morreale, and it falls incomplete.
McManus' pass intended for Morreale, incomplete.
This is normally where Calgary likes to bring pressure. It means they bring a safety. Like Greg Fears will come out of the middle and they'll try to force Danny McManus to throw the ball soon. Make an errant read, possibly put the ball up. maybe create a turnover here. Look for Greg Fears, number 12, your free safety, to be involved in some action here in the middle of the line of scrimmage.
Fears had a key interception to McManus back in October the 1st in Calgary. It ended the game. And they brought the house, and down goes incomplete pass. Flags down. And against the Tiger Cats.
Well, they bought Frears right off in the strong C gap.
Hamilton, number 68. Still second down.
They did play zero there. Kind of probably got Hamilton's attention up and made him move just a little bit because they were trying to adjust to the blitz.
Dave Hack called for the procedure.
Drew a penalty. See if they do it again.
It's had a great year, though. Mentioned before, Hamilton's nominee is top offensive lineman.
They got their nickel personnel. They take out a defensive lineman, put in an extra defensive back.
2nd and 15. McManus finds somebody, complete inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal, Tiger Cats. Trevor Shaw, reserve slot back with a big catch.
Cover 2-man here. That means you got man coverage underneath and you got 2 deep safeties. This is a coverage that Wally says he likes to mix in there about a half a dozen times a game. This is actually the coverage that they picked off Danny McManus at McMahon in the last play to preserve their 21-17 victory on August 2nd. Last time these two clubs met, well, they just ran it. Danny McManus made them pay that time.
The Ticats have had leads of 7-0 and 10-7. Since then, they've been behind. McManus bobbles the snap and has no choice but to fall on it. So it'll be 2nd and goal. And Hamilton trying to get the lead back. With a converted touchdown, they would, trailing 24-18. A wasted down, however. How frustrating is that for a quarterback when you're knocking on the door and you blow off a down like that?
I can't even put it into words. It is just, you just know you've missed an opportunity to actually put your team in a great situation with the win at your back, ahead for the 1st time or 2nd time in the game. I think he's got 2 cracks at it here, though.
And here's one crack. He's running. McManus wrapped up around the 2. He gets close.
Okay, that's 2 plays in a row. We've seen Danny McManus put in situations he doesn't like to be in. 1, ball's on the ground, having to recover it. 2, on the quarterback draw. Here he is right here. It's a design play, takes a snap, tries to set Steve Anderson up, does a good job of avoiding him, can't get off, gets off a gun, and then Kellogg's there to plug it up.
Jack Kellogg and Jason Clement in on the tackle of McManus. Now, Wally Buono went for it a lot further out on 3rd down, and they got that amazing touchdown to Allen Pitts. This is 3rd and 1 from the 1.
I figured they'd get 2 cracks at it, or 3 cracks at it down here, and that's what they're doing.
Handoff touchdown, Eric LaPointe. And the Ticats are a convert from taking the lead.
Well, they needed that. You know, it's 3-down territory down there. Need this victory against Calgary just for your mental health. This is what we call a walk-in. Got a great lead there by Chris Burns. He's virtually untouched to the end zone, LaPointe is. That's probably the easiest one he's had all year.
Well, we just talked to George Grant about the Vanier Cup and the CIAU. Eric LaPointe never got there, although he was close, and he was a dominant running back in the Canadian University ranks for years. 2-time Heck Crichton Trophy winner. Not a bad rookie campaign in the CFL. Puts the Ticats in the lead.
Swipe your club card to Safeway. All the room you want.
Eric LaPointe, more than 700 yards rushing in his rookie season, and just picked up a touchdown. The scoring drive, once again, brought to you by Buckacall. 7 plays, 70 yards. And the Hamilton Tiger Cats, for the first time since the 1st quarter, lead this ball game, 25-24. And a booming kickoff by Osbaldiston with the wind. Marvin Coleman getting up near the 28. And bear in mind, in a game this close, when it comes down to the kicking game, it is advantage Calgary, because in 34 seconds, they switch ends and the Stampeders have the wind the rest of the way. Mike McCoy. Had a great game last week against Montreal. Pretty good one going in this one, of course. But against Montreal, they were down by 10. He engineered 17 straight points, couple of touchdown tosses to Alan Pitts. And Calgary rallied and beat the Alouettes at McMahon.
It seems like he hasn't been on track here in this third quarter. He really hasn't, but that's because he's got the wind facing him, plus a fired Hamilton defense.
Calvin Anderson, nowhere to go, and a flag is down just as he is taken down. As that Tiger Cat defense still looks to be fired up.
Anderson, the ball carrier.
So he got hands up in the face mask again.
Flag in the play.
Well, Terry was called on that other face mask the previous drive that kept Calgary moving the football. And he's the one discussing it with an official. Looks to be him again on the tackle
Major
of Calvin
foul,
Anderson.
Face mask. Hamilton, number 15. First down.
Yeah, they call Joe Higgins.
We're pointing fingers at poor Tim Terry, and it's Higgins getting the infraction. But then again, we see right here, maybe Terry got away with one. Right there, the big long arms of Mr. Tim Terry. He's made an impact in this Hamilton club. They can't speak enough about it. He's made such an impact, it's going to be difficult for Gonzalo Floyd to get back on the field.
But gets another face mask call there. They run it to Anderson, who takes it over midfield. First down, Calgary.
That is why I like the Calgary Stampeders to win the West, because they have both facets of their offense. They have a great running game and a passing game, and we saw it right there.
At the quarter, a change of lead here. The Tiger Cats up front by 1 through 3. Back to CFL Live Control.
You're watching the CFL Live, and we're at the quarter. Brought to you by Toyota Canada and its dealers.
Well, we have to say it again. The buzz in the crowd, the emotion of the players, these guys are not playing out the string, especially the Ticats. They look like they're in the Grey Cup game.
Oh, I think they're really into this game, which may head up into the Grey Cup game, and it's really interesting how it's all been turned over on how the different phases on this football team have supported each other. And when you watch these plays, it's very evident to me that it all works together. Phase number 1, great defensive play, sack on Mike McCoy. Well, guess what that sets up? The special teams phase. Nice kick to Tony Akins, but watch how Akins sets up this return. This little dip to the right there, that freezes the feet of the coverage team, which allows him to gain that seam, that separation, and he heads on down the sidelines, puts Hamilton in excellent field position. That special team phase, well, that sets up phase number 3, the offensive phase. And here, Danny McManus, that window of opportunity, wow, it happened so fast you didn't even see it. Nice catch by Archie Amerson. Right now, the Hamilton Ticats are playing with the level of emotion and the level of commitment you need that is a Grey Cup champion. All 3 phases came together in that third quarter, James.
Very, very quick question. Do you leave Danny McManus in?
Absolutely, no doubt about it. When you have success, you just run with it.
But if he got hurt, boy,
then I change my mind.
This season will be over. Don't forget, doubleheader day on TSN. Don Matthews and the Eskimos trying to keep that playoff streak intact as they take on the Argos. 7:30 Eastern, the start time on that one.
And the third quarter stats are brought to you by Castrol GTX. Drive hard. Passing yardage, well, it's been pretty good for both teams, Matt.
It really has, but look at the bottom of your screen there. Possession, time of possession, 26-19 basically for Calgary. I think that's a big indicator, because when you can get a lopsided time of possession like that with this wind, it can really make a difference in a ball game. It means you're sustaining drives into the wind, and it makes all the difference in the world.
That wind still kicking into the night here in Hamilton in a 25-24 game. Calgary trailing by a point, but with the wind and the ball at midfield. Swing pass Anderson. Nowhere to go. Maybe a gain of 2 yards. A good job on him once again by Joe Higgins and Calvin Tiggle, and once again Tim Terry is in on the tackle.
Second and 8 from the 52-yard line.
A 2-yard pickup for the leader in combined yardage.
Adding to that total.
Adding to it. It was close. Jimmy the Jet Cunningham was just a couple of yards away coming in to this weekend. But Anderson ahead again. McCoy chooses to take off and has a first down. Gets out of bounds at the Hamilton 42.
Nifty little pump fake there to freeze Calvin Tiggle. Otherwise, he was going to get blown up by 73 there. But he pump faked into the middle, froze Calvin Tiggle a little bit. And the next thing you know, Mike McCoy's got some room around the outside. Here's a look at it from his viewpoint. He pumps right there, freezes Tiggle, buys himself some space, does a smart thing of running clearly out of bounds.
And if you think he runs around sometimes like a nervous, expectant father, he is. His girlfriend did have their first child November the 17th. That pass is knocked down. Incomplete. Gerald Vaughn has already had an interception in this game, and the coverage there for Hamilton and intended for Travis Moore. Alan Pitts has had a big year, Matt. Of course, now #1 in receiving yardage in CFL history.
Yeah, this is a catch right there in Edmonton. It's kind of unspectacular for a spectacular career, but he did it on that reception right there. Getting down and dirty, making it happen for his team.
Calgary's nominee for MVP. Intercepted. Lamar McGriggs drops the ball. They say it's incomplete. They say he never had control of it.
Hey, Lamar's going to go ahead and give himself 10 push-ups.
He's doing push-ups on the field.
Because when you drop one in practice like that, coaches always say, drop down, give me 10. It's a little punishment, little thing they do. Here's a good shot of it. McCoy buying himself some time. Then makes a poor decision here. McGriggs fighting it the whole way, puts it on the ground, then he drops down right there. Does a quick 10 push-ups, pays the price. That's classic.
Won't need to get disciplined when he goes off. He's already paid.
I think that shows some of his personality, though. You know, he just loves the game. He knows he messed up. All right, guys, here, I'll pay the price. Do 10 for you in front of the fans.
With the wind, Mark McLaughlin trying one from just inside the 50. Blocked. Flagged down. Ticats trying to get on the ball. It'll be Hamilton's anyway.
Put a fork in it. That sucker was greasy.
It was slipping and sliding all over the place.
Nothing like going after a loose ball.
They're still trying to sort things out. A huddle of officials. And around the Tiger Cat 33. Of course, discussing the ramifications after a block field goal and then a penalty to boot.
Wally's wondering what's going on. Is his team going to have another crack at a field goal?
Now Ron Lancaster and Wally Buono.
Ronnie seems pretty confident.
Those two go back a long way. Of course, Alberta rivals for much of this decade. Wally in Calgary and Ron Lancaster in Edmonton. And they have each upset each other in playoff football. That's a rivalry that goes back now just with a different team, and of course renewed last year in Winnipeg when they clashed in the Grey Cup.
We got it sorted out yet, Rod?
Well, the Jeopardy music's over and they still haven't given us the answer.
No yards. Calgary, number 67. First down.
So of course crossing the line of scrimmage, getting partially blocked, it's treated like a punt. And so no yards had to be given, and so it is Hamilton football. Lancaster took over the Edmonton Eskimos in 1991, got first place that year, and Wally Buono's Stampeders upset him. A big touchdown pass from Danny Barrett to Pee Wee Smith sealed the deal, and Calgary went on to face Matt Dunnigan and the Toronto Argonauts in the Grey Cup that year. But later in '93, Lancaster's Eskimos knocked off Wally Buono's Stampeders, team that was 15-3, beat them in Calgary. The Grey Cup was there that year, and Lancaster won a Grey Cup. The Eskimos took it.
And then what happened? It was at 90 what?
93. I believe it was somebody's Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I mentioned your name for the win, right?
Yeah, I appreciate it, yeah. But it wasn't me in the Toronto Argonauts.